Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the technical trader at thetechtrader.com. It's Tuesday night, March the 28th. These are the charts of the day. Well, taking a quick look at the indices, you will see that it was a strong, after an early little bit of a dip to support, a strong move up into late sessions when they pulled back and tested some support in a very orderly manner. Same thing on the S&P, which followed through after initial minor dip to 2337, all the way up to 2364. Before finishing at 23.58.59. This was a solid session. Technicals were strong. They actually improved quite a bit from this morning. And we'll just have to see if we get a follow through. But keeping in mind the more intermediate charts, or hourly charts, this is what it looks like on a NASDAQ 100. It's still kind of a toppy pattern with a potential right shoulder here, although this did break through what I consider the shoulder line there. So that's a breakout. And if this was the falling wedge, certainly broke through key resistance to close at the upper end of the range. On the S&P 500, a little bit different. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4. And although we did break out through a resistance zone, it did back off at the end of the day at the declining tops line. So we're still in that inner woods. We'll see if we get a follow through tomorrow. Wouldn't surprise me if we pull back. If we did and held that zone, 23, 36, 40 zone, we could get a pretty strong rally, or it could fail again and then roll back down. So this is a tough call. I think the market was due for a pullback. We certainly got one, but money's flowing right back into the market now. We'll have to see if there's any follow through. For now, we're going to take a quick look at the charts that looked great today. AKAO with a wonderful snapback, particularly late in the session. Take a look when it exploded on investor news. Someone took a big, like 5.7% position. I think Dugan did. And you can see that at the end of the day, it did pull back and consolidate. What I consider a pretty good coil, maybe a little pop after the hour, but for the most part, the snapback was important. The volume was pretty good at 2.1 million, best volume on an update since, well, we can go all the way back to here. So if that's the beginning of something, we shall see tomorrow, won't we? Let's keep in mind that resistance would be somewhere up around today's high. We get through that, we could see around a 26 and a half, 3/4, maybe 27 and 3/4, something of that nature, before we hit the top of the channel, over 30, which is my next target. And on that one, there is 3.6 days to cover. AQMS with a pop late in the day, and here's the look of it. You can see how it popped, coiled, and finished strong after hours. It traded up to 1935, but closing in 1901. You can see that if it does follow through here, you may get a retest of the 22-23 zone. Ultimately, my target is 26.7 at the top of the channel. There's 6.7 days, as I said, to cover on that one. Cara, well, nice follow through. We made a nominal new high. It's the highest level since August of 2015, so more than a year and a half, almost a year and 3/4. About a year and a half. And you can see how it, a big volume of 7.6 million, the stock moved up sharply. It didn't close great. In the afternoon it came down, but from the standpoint of the daily pattern, the technicals, and the volume, it looks pretty good. I would look to see if it does hold the 17.5 range roughly. And then if it takes out today's high at 2024, this could run up into the 23 and even 27 range in the immediate term. 2.66 days to cover. Well, explosive move on CBIL. That was a great day trade. Check it out one more time. How about that? Strong, strong, strong move in the morning. Rest of the day, nothing. It coiled all day. But when the stock goes from 5 to 1880 some odd, you're going to get those kind of consolidations. Actually, it's quite a good one considering the big pull, the big run up. We didn't have anywhere near a steep pullback, although this is pretty steep from 1888 down to 1330, about a 5.5 point pullback, but it was up about 14. So at this point, we're going to keep close tabs on this one because this looks like a big breakaway gap through all three moving averages. Strong close near the upper end of the range, although you can see that resistance does come in around 21. If we do get any extension, something around 21 may be a tougher area to get through, and ultimately we may see the stock up near the 2830 range, perhaps something up near there. There is some resistance in that zone. So if and when we get a strong price volume surge through 21, 21 and a half, then I would expect the stock to make further progress. It was a damn good day. Let's see if there's any follow through. CC broke out of its flag that's been in place about 5 weeks. Today was a nice pop of $1.89 at 5.5% on 5.3 million. That's the biggest volume in about 5 weeks. So if that is the case, and we are extending to the top of the channel, which is a beauty, I would expect to see a run up near 42. That's another 6 points from here. DFFN with a big pop coming from 262 to 506, almost doubling, up 82% today. 7.6 million, by far the biggest volume ever traded. Now, going back to what happened in February when the stock spiked up and pulled back to 689, that could be an area between 690 and say 690 and maybe 7.25 half. That would be more stifling and a tougher area to get through. But so now my target is going to be 6, and let's call it 7. DRI with a big move. If you look at the long-term chart, fantastic long-term move from the 2009 lows when it was trading around 11, 12, all the way up to today's 82. Now it was up 591 or 7.7%, broke out of this wedge, and a really good earnings report. I could see the stock running here, and maybe 90, 95, even 100, short term. That's a weekly chart. Here's a daily. So looking for something up in that zone. There are 9 days to cover short. HPJ breaking out of a base and a nice pop. I'm actually quite surprised it held as well as it did. It actually came out at the end of the day. Look at the pop right at the close. Closing at 490 up 115. That was 30% gainer on 10 times normal volume. Something definitely have to be watched, because normally Hong Kong will have a pop and drop, pop and drop, pop and drop. But this one looks like it's had a strong surge from January's low around 2 to here almost 5 today. So if it does get through this zone, looking at a weekly chart, you'll see that the next target has to be about 6.25 half area. You may see that tomorrow if it keeps going. IMMY, another pop today. Another little junior biotech taking off. Now up 6 days in a row, having gone from 230 to 394, almost doubling. But more importantly, breaking through the base pattern resistance through here. And moving up into a resistance zone, which could be tested as early as tomorrow at 440, 450. If it gets through that, who knows where this thing goes. 4.88 days to cover. IPXL, I just want to show you that yesterday's big move was followed by a little bit of an upside day, but it held very nicely at this line going across. It very well might extend, and if it does, I would not be shocked to see this make a move towards 15 short term with smaller short position. By the way, the IMMY is almost 5 days to cover. Short. Nice action on Kopin, especially near the close. Watch. The stock ran from about 390 to 419, 418. Yeah, and then backed off a little right at the close. But there's a nice slug of volume in here. So I like the way it's acted. Also, when a stock breaks out, it often will retest the breakout point, which is about 409.10. It closed at 411, up only 8 cents, but the volume is solid for the day. If you look at the overall chart pattern, you'll see it's been trading very nice volume in the last 2-3 weeks, indicating to me it's been accumulated. I think today was a breakout day above that. Now I'm looking for a move 4 3/4, 5, maybe 5 1/4, and if it gets up to 4 3/4 and backs off, it continues to move up. Eventually, this looks like a $6 stock to me. There's 8.3 days to cover short. That won't hurt. Nectar broke out today with low volume. Although 1.7 million is nothing to sneeze at, we've seen a lot more volume than that in the past. Nevertheless, the consolidation zone of the last week was taken out, and I would not be shocked to see this make a run at 26 short term, especially with 5.8 days to cover. OMER with an explosive move in the morning. Take a look at it. We traded that beautifully, particularly after the flag formed. It then ran from 14 all the way up to 16.30, 40, and back way off. Didn't do much rest of the day. But net, here's a stock with nearly 20 days to cover short. If you remember, over the weekend I showed you this inverse head and shoulder. Well, today it broke out, exploded up to resistance. So that's why it pulled back, I think. A lot of resistance up in that 16.25 half zone. Should it get through there in the next couple of days, look for 19 as a target, especially with 20 days to cover. Watch this one tomorrow. Could be interesting. Restoration Hardware. Well, stock that was on my short list here, all the way down. Another flag, and finally an exhausting move, a big volume, followed by a basing period of 9 months. Now, with multiple tops in here, today, after hours, great earnings report. Look at that explosive move. It took it from 38 to 45, 7 points, and it settled in at 44, up 6 more points after the close. I expect this to be a trader tomorrow. More importantly, it's breaking out across, not only does it have 6.5 days to cover, but it's breaking out over a triple top, which could run all the way up towards 47. So that will be my target tomorrow. This little double top at 47. And then you can see the line right there. But keep an eye on that tomorrow morning. Some shipping stocks did well. SBLK had a nice day today. Another gap and run. It got right to resistance. lateral and this rising tops line. So maybe it pulls back, maybe it explodes through it and keeps going. If this is the true channel bottom in here, and that is your true channel top, then you can see that the target is 17. So keep your eye on this one. If the shippers run, this can really take off. This is a beautiful chart. Really nice base. Scientific Games doing very well in here. And you can see the consolidation that took place over the last few weeks, including a nice bull coil in here, which was popped out today. If it gets up through the 2305 area, and it got as high as 2295 today, it may very well extend towards 26.7, particularly with 6.24 days to cover. Great looking chart, beautiful base, breakout, retest, channeling up, and still going with good momentum. Sears, well, a big surge today, and it closed at the exact high of the day going away. 1130 up 187, or almost 20% today. 5.2 million. Something that is up big here. Now there is some resistance right there where it closed. If it gaps up and runs tomorrow, it wouldn't shock me to see 13.5 my next target, particularly with nearly 12 days to cover. Shopify, well, monster move this year. In 1 year, it's gone from 18 and change to 73. You can't ask for much more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a big fifth wave to the top of the channel. Now, I'm not saying it's done. I am saying undone, meaning that on 5 waves up to the top of the channel, I often take my profits and go, or I really tighten my stops. At this point, I would recommend, if you're not going to sell it, stop it under 60, yesterday's low of 67, thereabout, okay? Skechers, well, finally broke out today, and this, overall pattern with the exhaustion, V-bottom, spike low, what I would call a capitulation type low, and then the run up to the resistance at the gap, and then the 3-wave corrective pullback, which formed a new channel, and then had another spike up, falling wedge, and then another pop. At this point, it looks to me like you're going to make a run at the 33, 34 zone short term. And keeping this in mind, if this is the angle of ascent, and we're looking for some sort of a parallel channel, perhaps, just perhaps, this is going to also call for something around 33, 34. So that's why I'd be looking for something, and maybe as quickly as tomorrow morning, for this thing to extend the run. And he pulled back towards the 28.5 level, could be a buying opportunity, particularly in low volume. Chinese educational play Tedu broke out of its wedge or coil. Low volume ebb 2 days ago, started to move yesterday, and today it exploded for $1.24, almost 7%, 700,000. Second biggest volume since December, and telling me we're headed higher, perhaps to go into the 22 zone. Trox, the stock I regret not buying when it broke out here, and again it consolidated beautifully in that zone, broke out and flagged again. This spike up and pullback, I think, is a buy. It came off the price support and channel bottom yesterday at 15.50, today up to 17.25. You can see if it extends, it should test and maybe take out 20. That's my near-term target, and 23, then 29. And last thing tonight is WDC, which popped out 2 days ago and pulled back yesterday, today right back up again. It looks like it's poised to pop, and if it does, 86.7 and 95 are my targets going forward. That's a comprehensive look at the longs for tonight. You guys have a great evening.